in order to grow your business, you have to promote it, you have to market it. That's how you see year on year increases.
You have to find new people. For your business to grow, you need more customers, in very simple terms. Hi, welcome to the Mindset and Marketing Podcast. My name is Matthew Toman. I'm your co-host for today, and I'm joined with
Sharon Kirkpatrick.
Here on the Mindset and Marketing Podcast, we want to give you jargon-free information around everything mindset and everything marketing. So let's get into it. How was your week?
Good. I had a great wee week, thank you. Obviously work was busy, and then jumping into the weekend, I went to my first rugby match.
Oh, very good. Who was playing?
Ulster and Cardiff. So rugby is a sport I've tried to get into forever because Ireland's good at rugby. So it would make sense that I would watch it out of all the sports, but I can't understand the rules. I just don't get them. Why
don't you do like a 5-minute YouTube video or something? Or Google it?
I know. People have explained them to me, right? But so I understand the concept and I get the points. But what I don't get is, whenever they go into is it a scrum or a huddle thing? When they're all down on the floor.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes the referee will blow the whistle and it's a foul, and other times he won't. And I'm like, but how? You can't even see what's going on. Why? Why has that happened? So I've always kind of had a love-hate relationship with it. But my friend had tickets and said he has to go, and we thought, let's give it a go. And it was so much fun. Completely different than going to a football game.
Yeah.
So in rugby, all the two opposing fans can be in the same area because it's so civilized.
Yeah.
Not rowdy at all, and you're allowed beer and food into the match as well because you're trusted not to throw it at someone. It's just a different class, a different level of
soccer is
respect.
So, yeah. I mean, what I like about rugby is, I said this to you before, whenever it's over, it's over. The whistle blows and then it's over. Where whenever I go to a basketball game, you think, okay, there's 4 quarters. I don't know if they're 12 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever they are, but that lasts for 3.5 hours. Maybe longer.
How?
Because of timeouts, stoppage, so much.
Wow.
And where sometimes you go to watch, my mates would have said to me, oh, do you want to go and watch the match of football? And I'd say, yeah, no worries. Thinking, okay, well, it's over in 90 minutes. And then there's another 30 minutes extra time stuff, and then penalties. And then I'm like, aren't we meant to be going out? I just went to go out, and then I'm there stuck there for hours watching the football. I hated it.
Oh gosh, yeah. So I would definitely go back. But see, going into the football, extra time and penalties, that was what I was doing on Sunday, was watching the Man United match because they were in the semi-final. And I know you don't care about football, but it was intense. They went from 3-0 up and got into the second half like that, and then it went to 3-3. So then we had to play extra time. And then in the last minute of extra time, Coventry scored a goal. So technically they would have went through, but they deemed it offside, and it was offside by the tiniest amount. So then it went into penalties, and it was the most stressful time of my life. I hate it. I wish I didn't like football, because then you wouldn't get all riled up for no reason. Man United, but by the skin of their teeth. They should have won by a mile, So it's not a celebration.
Yeah, well, what's my week been like? I can't even remember what I've done. My week has been very chilled this week. Working flat out. Bankhouse is out the door. What is going on? It's I'm working with loads of clients. I've been working on sales, so there's been a lot happening. And what else? I've had a real flipping nightmare with. I have a neighbour. You can't hear anybody in these buildings at all. Nobody. It's silence since I've been here. It's absolute silence. But I don't know if he's had a psychotic break, or if he's I actually felt really annoyed at the start. I'm what the hell? First of all, I thought they were partying, which I would always just say, if there's a party going on, I wouldn't really say anything. Then party seemed to go on for. Then there was a Monday. I was like, what the hell's going on? So then I realized halfway through Monday morning. Now it's a month ago that there's something going on here because it doesn't seem right. And then the cops came, the ambulance came, like a whole drama around it. And for the past month, it has been torture. Like I am wrecked.
Like every day or like most days, or
It
what's
was
the
went
vibe?
quiet for a few days, and now Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like we've all had to have the cops out so many times. I feel sorry for him.
Oh my gosh.
Like I feel really, really sorry for him because obviously he's not in his right mind. He's got a really good job, really nice guy, but there's something going on. But it's throwing me out of whack. I didn't even go to my flipping comedy class the other week. I'm so all over the place from it because usually I just have
you're
a
not
brilliant
getting
night's
proper
sleep.
rest.
Yeah. And then last night I went to bed at like 11 o'clock, so tired. And then he was gone like really, really crazy at 2:30 in the morning. And it's not like it's
What does he do?
crazy.
Just shout or like make noise?
He's like having
bang?
conversations with people and things. It's like I feel really sorry for him, you know. So we have to notify the cops every time that happens. So I had to do that, and then I took a sleeping tablet, and then slept right through till 7. It was like, and now I can't really half wake up.
You're like still on that tablet.
Yeah, this is like, and you know, over the years I've lived probably in hundreds of houses. Like if you think about it, I've stayed in hundreds of different locations, like throughout the year. But whenever I'm actually going to view an apartment today. I'm going to a car dealership to pick a car that I want, and I'm going to view an apartment today for August.
Oh, okay. But you're staying there then just until you're leaving at the end of the month?
I'm leaving at the end of the month, but it turns out, so there's another weekend after Coachella called Bandstand or something along those lines, but it's a really, really big country music festival. Like the biggest country artists in the world are at it. It's like Coachella for country stars. I haven't told you this because I've only been speaking to you, but we've actually been booked to go down for 3 days, and it's a job for BBC, and they're looking me to, like, I'll be running around producing it, but also they're looking me to present it, you know. So I'm going to be presenting a few segments for it, which I didn't see coming, and I'm bringing Simone with me.
Gag. Oh,
I know Simone used to work with us.
The OG's back in action.
Yeah, no, I was trying to get Dario on the job as well, but Dario had to work and it didn't work out, you know. So we're going down on Thursday night. We're going to have like 3 days of the madness. But there's some really, really interesting things happening for this documentary, and it's weird why I'm presenting it.
When is that? Is that this Thursday? Or are you or towards the end of the month? Yeah, this Thursday.
Friday.
Oh, Friday. Very good.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going on Thursday. But this is what I'm saying about America. Like, I've just got settled in. Like, my phone has not stopped with leads. Like, has not stopped. Because Bankhouse has always been a word of mouth company. And now it's like the words on the street that I'm here, you know. That's what it feels like. It feels like the same way when I went to Dublin. It just snowballs, and then before you know it, and I'm not a really good client manager, and I don't have a client manager in the United States. So Sharon is like client managing the United States guys from like 8:30 to 9:30, and then runs into your flipping evening at the minute, which we need to work out. We need to sort that out.
We'll get there. But that sounds class.
Positive, though.
Here, I need to tell you something else exciting that happened
Taylor
this weekend.
Swift's going to be at actually.
I was thinking that when you said country. I was like, surely she has to be there.
And Beyonce.
Now, I wasn't going to talk about this, but I do have to mention it now you brought Taylor Swift up. Obviously, I'm going to see her, obviously a fan. But she's brought an album out and there's 31 songs on it. Now, that's a bit much.
It's because she's looking to get more streams. She's looking to make more money. She makes money off her streams. That's what Kanye done, Drake done a couple of years ago. It was so annoying. They brought out like 160 songs. They brought out loads, But do you not realise at that point it's more about the money, no?
Well, yeah, but I know, but, you know, I'm thinking I'm booked to see her in June. She better not try and throw that shite on that tour because I won't know it by then. I don't have the time to listen to 31 songs back to back and learn them.
Oh, yeah, no, it's like it's just about the cash.
But here, that wasn't what I was going to say. The exciting news for this weekend was that Ireland got sunshine.
Yeah, I saw you had the roof down.
2 days of sunshine
I
in a
felt like I'd
row.
woke up in a parallel universe. Sharon had a roof down, and one of my mates was jumping into the Irish Sea at the 40 foot in Dublin. I had to check and see if he'd went on holidays. I was like, why is he, what's going on? Because all I could hear from my mum was the rain, the rain. But they were going into the chapels and praying for sunshine down south.
And it worked.
Yeah. Well, I actually got burnt. Look at my head there.
Oh, is that what that is?
I think I
Why
burnt
do
it
you
with a
not have your
hairdryer
sun
first,
cream on?
but well, I don't wear sunscreen. I've never wear sunscreen.
Do you wear SPF?
Is that not sunscreen?
Kind of,
SPF
yeah,
is sunscreen.
yeah. But like sometimes,
No,
hold on, I was thinking there because some like makeup has SPF, but obviously you're not. You don't wear makeup.
no,
Yeah.
don't wear
Okay, so you're
makeup.
not accidentally getting it.
No, 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 no. I don't. I've never wore sunscreen. I get burnt now. Don't get me wrong, but then it comes back and get a little tan. I did use this Factor once, Factor 50. I got this spray in a really, really good place. I bought it whenever I was moved into one of my houses and it had a pool. And see, every time I sprayed it on me, um, I had to go to the toilet immediately. Like within 5 minutes,
Your
every time.
body's so weird.
But that's the shit that I was spraying onto my skin and rubbing into it.
I don't know. I think the Tomans have super sensitive bodies because anything Rachel does with her skin affects her. And I'm like,
It's
what?
but it's to show that my body tried to repel it immediately,
Didn't want it.
you know, so I wouldn't be near it. I tried it once,
No.
didn't work out, you know.
Okay,
Will I
fair
get
enough.
skin cancer? I don't know. Hopefully not. You never know, but it's all right. Am I going to get lines and wrinkles? That's fine. I'm all right
I
with that.
like a line and a wrinkle. I think it's more genuine.
So do I. I've never had injectables and don't plan on it.
I haven't. Well, I did once by accident, but that's too long a story to go into. So I haven't actually
It's not really.
And
Sharon done model for one of our clients, and she made a very. They were like, "There's no model today," and she's like, "I'll do it," and that was it. And it happened. I think I'd went out to the car to get a microphone or something. Came back, and Sharon was getting flipping Botox. I'm like, "What?"
but the thing was, when I said I would be a model, I didn't. I just thought they were going to pretend to do it. And then he was like, "Well, sure, we'll just do it anyway." And I was like, "Why not?"
I know, but you sued it, but you sued it without it better. You know, your skin's great.
Well, maybe
So
in a
what
few
is
years, who knows?
today's podcast about?
So I thought today's topic is creating a marketing budget for your business because we've talked about marketing plans, we've talked about the different types of channels, we've talked about, certain elements for each, but not really went into obviously the fundamentals of having a budget for it first for all of these activities because whenever we're in the agency, a lot of the time we'll be doing ad hoc projects. So someone will come in for a website or a video or socials or whatever. So one part of their marketing strategy. And they've just kind of looked at that as one, a piece. And they don't look at kind of the bigger picture. So there's lots of different things that's one element that they're doing right there. But obviously to try and cover all of the elements, it is something that we could do. But a lot of the clients don't look at it like that. And they just maybe do kind of one thing and hope that all the rest kind of sorts itself out. Where really everything that we do in the agency all comes hand in hand, to help support companies. And I think the big thing is because a lot of people will see, the cost of doing of completing marketing as being exactly that, a cost, whereas really when we kind of go through and explain it all, it shouldn't be a cost. Yes, there's money going out, but it should be the thing that's making you money and growing your business. So I just wanted to kind of...
Yeah. Your overheads, where you might think your
Yeah.
overheads, my overheads are my rent, my rates, my staff bill, my tax, my bins to get collected, my TV license, the music that I play in my shop. Okay, that's my overheads. And nobody really puts in their marketing spend as a part of and a set, like it's like not paying your rent and expecting to go into the building and people to be there.
Yeah.
It's like it's a part of your overheads that you have to budget in.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we just kind of I just want to shed a bit of light on that, so that we can start to get people thinking about maybe if they haven't done this before, because a lot of people that we talk to haven't, and just then how they go about, doing that and thinking about that budget. Because basically, like you said, if you have your business open and it's a bricks and mortar business or it's an online business, you are going to get some organic people walking down the street or finding your page on socials or whatever. But in order to grow your business, you have to promote it. You have to market it. That's how you see year on year increases.
New people. You have to find new people. For your business to grow, you need more customers, in very simple terms. And how do you get them customers? You have to present yourself and your business and your offering and the problems you solve in front of them, no matter where they are. They're walking down the street, high footfall, maybe it's a billboard. If they're in the car bringing their kids to work, it could be a radio ad. If they're on Facebook, then it's a Facebook ad. If they're on Instagram, if they're on TikTok, if they're searching on Google, if they read the Daily Mail. So there's you have to get in front of those people. That's all you have to do in a very simplified form. You need more customers to grow your business, and then just think where are they? Okay, well that's where I need to show my sign. That's where I need to tell them what I do. And each one of those will have a different cost.
Yeah, and the thing is, so in summary, a marketing budget is obviously the amount of money per year that you are going to use to promote your business. So easy, right? But in terms of then, what can you spend that money on? So Matthew already mentioned several channels that you can use in terms of or where you can put your marketing spend. So the other ones outside of the ones that Matthew had mentioned is the SEO optimization every month to get onto the top of the search engine so that your business comes up first. It can be social media management. So you're either doing that in-house, paying someone to do that, or you're getting an agency to make sure that you're showing up on your socials, and then ad spend to put advertisements in front of those people on your socials. It can be as simple as content creation, like getting videos done for your business or graphics done, or it could be flyers, brochures, you name it. Influencers, paying influencers, events. So they're kind of all of the types of marketing that you can do for your business outside of word of mouth, but I'm talking about paid for. So for all of those things, then you need to think in a year, how much money can I spend or put aside to promote my business across these channels? Now, for people that maybe haven't thought about a budget before or haven't done it before, a general rule of thumb is around, it's between 5 and 10. So say 8% of your revenue should then go back into marketing for your business. And that's why it's really important, we talk about it all the time, is understanding your profits. Because like Matthew mentioned, say you're making 500,000 a year, and then by the time you take your rent off or your wages or your utility bills and all of that, it's figuring out that bottom line. So what's your profit? And then taking around the percentage mark of that profit to invest back into your marketing. Because without doing that, you're just leaving so much on the table. How are you finding new people if you're not putting the marketing into it? And a lot of the times what people will do is, what we see is people will wait until it's too late. They might be like, shit, my website's broke, I need to get that fixed, and just pay the money for the website, not see it as any kind of marketing or whatever, just see it as something that they had to pay out to get a problem fixed. Or they've run out of leads and they're going to jump in and try and turn on an ad campaign for a couple of weeks, right? And they do that. Well, that's good in essence, that you're getting that problem fixed, but you're not continually marketing or promoting yourself if you don't keep those things up. So it should be a monthly amount that you're spending so that every month you can get in front of new people. If you're not spending it, you should be doing it yourself, internally. But again, that's going to cost somebody's wage or whatever it might be. So it's just
whenever you work with like what we do as an agency, we will always meet a business owner where they're at that time. So whether that is whether they have no website, for example, one of my clients came on to Mint and he just has opened a new studio and he needs a website with all his YouTube videos embedded in, his SEO, all of his stuff there rocking, but he doesn't have enough money to do that right now. So we started with one single sales page and a link to his booking system. Right, so that's what we're building to reinvest the money back in to build the website at the time. Now, him and his brother have 2 good social media followings in the niche that they're building their business in. So they're going to use their own organic traffic to bring people into the business, to bring people onto the sales page. So they're going to be in a position where they're like, okay, we've got traffic coming to here, and he knows they're going to convert. He's planning on having, I think maybe about 100 people in his studio a month between 3 trainers, which turns out it's, I don't know, maybe 20 grand a month or something. So he's going to start then reinvesting back into his video and back into his online presence when he gets the opportunity to do that. Now, this is a thing that I live and die by. Never sell a client too much, but never sell a client too little, right? So if I had to try to sell him a website for X amount of thousand, he didn't have the money, he wouldn't have been able to do it, he would have went elsewhere. I'm like, right, okay, well, there's no point me then going and selling him, okay, well, do you want to do an entry package for a graphic design package? What's he going to do with that? How is that going to make him money? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'd be selling him too little. You have to look and see what he needs next within his budget that's going to make him money, right? Yeah. So whenever you're looking at your own business, and even though you don't understand marketing as well as maybe Sharon or I or other people out there, you can always ask us, but you got to really say, what is my next best spend? Like if you think, oh, I need to get a staff member because to cover lunches and I need someone to cover me because I'm going to be on holidays, and you commit to like a 30, 40, 50,000 pound a year salary plus tax, pension, maternity leave, holidays, sick pays, all those things, but you don't have the footfall coming into your business to build your business, then you've spent money in the wrong area. Do you know what I mean? People, it's about clearly understanding how much money you have, and if you're starting off, like, where's my next best spend, and see if you do have your full marketing strategy and budget pointed out and you understand how much each of them are going to cost. Then you can say, well, I can't do that or that, but you want to know what, I could invest in that, and that definitely will make me money. And then once you go in on that, that's how it all comes back. Where people sometimes say, I'm going to buy a nice new computer, I need an iMac. No, you don't. You can do it from your phone. You can do it from your phone, or you can buy a second-hand PC off Facebook Marketplace, and then you can spend the money you would spend on the iMac into an ad spend to bring people to you. Yeah. You know? Whenever I went bust back in the day, in the noughties, I learned a lot of that. I was spending money in the wrong areas. So whenever I came back, I've been able to I have spent money in the wrong areas, and some people have charged me too little, and then the project didn't move the way that I thought it was going to, because the price they agreed on wasn't going to ever be able to be delivered. It would have took months. So it's weird. You got to constantly be evaluating how much money you have to what you need done. But as Sharon was saying, is like having that big list of everything that you do need done will really set the roadmap of where you want to go.
Yeah. And obviously, if anyone's speaking to us, we would be able to identify quite quickly, what out of all of those different options would be, where would your money be best spent. If you're doing it on your own and you're not working with an agency, you can, and we've said this time and time again, there's so much information online, so you can do a bit of research, and you can look at your competitors or someone who's doing something in that industry really, really well. And just by doing half an hour Google search, you'll be able to find out, are they running ad campaigns? Are they paying for SEO? Because if they're at the top of the pages, and when you put the search terms in on Google, they will be. Are they using influencers on their social media channels to get people in? Like, are you seeing their ad on the radio? There's loads of things that you can do to see, what's working really well in your industry. So you don't have to go in blind in terms of having this full list of all of the different things that you could spend your money on, and testing each one. Start with the ones that your competitors are doing because they're working, if you can see that they've been doing them for, a period of time. So that's always kind of a useful way to kind of figure out where to get going first. And then from there, it's just a case of getting them live and testing them out. But as Matthew had mentioned, the biggest thing here is having visibility of all of this. I know we talk about this till we're blue in the face, but especially if you're doing this for the first time, if works out that your marketing budget is, say, I don't know, £1,000 a month, so £12,000 a year, break that down, because obviously your marketing activity should be, generally speaking, ongoing. It should be a monthly thing that you're doing. So divide that by your full year's budget by 12, so it's £1,000 a month, and then see what marketing channels you could split that £1,000 across. But what's really important is that you keep a track of that, so that then in a few months' time you'll be able to see, and potentially weeks for certain things like ad campaigns, you'll be able to see where is that working for me and how much you're making back off that. And at the end of the day, and this is why it's not a cost for marketing if it's done right, because what you should then start to see is that you have spent X amount of money that month, £1,000, 500 went in SEO, 500 went in ad campaigns, and by the end of the month I got most of my money from the ad campaign, or I got a few leads from social media and a few leads from the ad campaign, and I'm still making more money than it cost me because each lead is, I don't know, say £500. So what you're then able to do is see what's working for you and see what's not, and then ensure that you spend your budget in the right place, because at the end of the year you should be able to say, my marketing budget has actually made me X amount times my money back. And a good rule of thumb as a starting point to ensure that your marketing efforts are on the right track is that for every kind of pound or euro you spend, you should be making 5 back. So, times that by whatever it is, by 5. And if you're not hitting those kind of numbers, then that's difficult. But also bearing in mind, if you double your return on marketing spend, that's still, you're still up that.
Yeah,
and
even if you get your money back, yeah.
Yeah, because that's not thinking.
Whenever I'm testing stuff, I have no problem in breaking even as well. Just to get the data, I think it's so valuable. It's worth it. I'm just happy to get it out there. But so if you had an injectables company, right, and you know that you're allowed to spend $1,000 a month, and you were like, oh, I'm putting this into ads and putting that in. But if you see an influencer, right, and she's coming in to get her injectables done, you're like, hey, if I give you £1,000, would you do like a series of posts? And she'd be like, yeah, give me the £1,000. So she'll take the money, and then that could really blow up. You could get a much bigger return because it's definitely with an influencer. A lot of people say, I'm not paying an influencer, I'm not paying them. Whereas I think you can get your money back from them. I really do. And
especially
if it's a right
you do the work.
fit,
yeah.
If it's the right fit, you got to make sure it's the right fit. Look, the marketing is the fun part. Budgeting and understanding how much you have to spend, because if you come in to me, for example, like I've been back doing loads of sales in the past couple of weeks, month or so, just settling in, and everybody says, oh, I don't know what my budget is yet. I can't do anything for you. I can't guess. How much do you think it's going to be? I'd be like, well, look, ideal world, you have $100,000 and I'm firing on all cylinders with websites, ad campaigns, spend every month, and we start to make some serious cash. If that's not where you're at, then you got to tell me where you are, and then I'm going to advise you on what your next best step will be. And that's it, because their next best step that I will advise will definitely move their business in the right direction for 2 reasons. Number 1, that's what they're paying me for, to make sure that happens. And number 2, I want them to make more money because they spend more money with us.
Yeah.
If they win, we win. And that's it. And there's been clients with us for like 10 years. The one that I'm doing this BBC thing for, I met them in 2017, and he rang me yesterday, and I had like the crew, everything set up. He's got like all the transfer, you know what I mean? So it's like, you get to know your clients, you get to know what they need, you know what their budgets are. You don't even really have to talk about this point. You can sign off on it at a later date. It's always good to sign off on the thing, but I did get a gist of their budget, and I knew what I could do within that.
Yeah.
But it's about being honest, and see if you only have an extra £300, tell your digital marketer that. The amount of people that come in and say, oh yeah, I want to spend like £3,000 extra, but they don't have it. And that's so bad, because you're putting yourself in a position where there's so much pressure on you for it to deliver. So you're stressed because this is your last £3,000, for example, where if I had thought that was your last £3,000, it's not probably where I would have been spending it. I would have said, why don't you do this? Or why don't you do an ads course and we can train you for 2 days? It costs that amount of money, but then you can manage your ads and then you can put all the spend into your ads. You know, but it's whenever people don't be honest. And I understand why people aren't being honest as well, because they'll think, oh, I'm going to show my cards too soon. They're going to know how much money I have. They're going to just want to spend it all. Your marketing budget, right, that you have, I'm sorry to tell you, it is all going to be spent. It is all going to be spent. So if you tell me, look, I've got 10 grand of a marketing budget, that's the way that we're going to market your business, using 10 grand, but with the goal to making more sales. Our fees don't change. Our fees stay the same. We don't get more money, but you will have more money to spend, like on an influencer or into ads, or maybe run a TikTok campaign. So it's not like saying I have 10 grand where I'm like, okay, sweet, give me that. That's not the way it works.
And you're actually, because what you're doing with 10 grand is all of those platforms that we talked about earlier that you can market on, you know, and all of those opportunities, then we can do more of them. Because at the end of the day, there is not one single hugely successful business out there that has found one marketing channel and stuck to it forever. They're across the majority of them.
That's why I feel
and that's why they're successful.
That's why I'm so nervous for influencers. Like, so nervous. Because all of their eggs are in Instagram or in TikTok. Like, see if America does ban TikTok, I don't know what the hell's going to happen. You know,
it's scary. Well, even businesses, because we have some clients before they come to us or before they've got a website or anything, are running, you know, all of their businesses on Facebook or on Instagram, and then next thing, some of them have had it where their account has been hacked or blocked, or and they can't get into it ever again. And it's like, it's so scary. Now it doesn't happen all the time, but it definitely happens. And that is the fear as well, just marketing on one channel. But there's not, I mean, how many channels do Coke advertise on? How many channels do Apple? You know, imagine them all just sticking to billboards. Or,
I know, yeah.
You know, and that's why when you've got more spend, it can be spent, because really in an ideal world, you're doing all of those things. But like Matthew said, sometimes your budget doesn't allow for it and you need to build it up. There's no point investing 10 grand to do all of those things once if you can't keep it up. So it's about starting with your best foot forward and figuring out which ones are working for you. And whenever you see them bring more money back in, then you can increase, you know, your marketing budget to add on another channel and just keep doing the same. It's not that you have to be on every single one, but in the end, your marketing budget should grow, but it's because you'll be making more money back, you know. And that's sometimes what, you know, I think a lot of businesses kind of hope that like there's a quick fix to marketing. You know, if you do it kind of the 1 month or for a couple of months, you know, then you're happy days.
Like,
sweet,
the only
that's
tip
it
that
done.
I give every business owner: fall in love with it. Fall in love with understanding what your break even is. How, when you spend that amount of money on that area, there's how much money you get back. You know, and don't think about the money you get back is all yours. It cost money to get there. You know, staff, ad spend, whatever, and then the profit is yours. So whenever I look, if me and Daniel's ever having breakfast and just talking through the company, I'm like, you know, we're here, but like, you know, that after we spend X amount of money and there's how much comes in, that's totally ours. Like every penny of that is ours. Like, I've taken the tax out of it, and like it's a massive chunk of money. But like, how is that ours? Because we have paid all the people who work for us. We've paid all our tax, VAT, ad spend, everything. So we have brought our break even's high. It's really, really high. We double and triple that, The rest is fully ours.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we've been doing for years, and that's how we've been able to travel the world, grow the business, build it. Or we can say, hey, listen, look how much extra we had here. Do you want to take, again, the 8% out of that and reinvest it back into ads to make more? Or do you want to take a bigger percentage out and reinvest in a staff member? You know, so we're constantly making those decisions to grow the company.
And the thing is, you know, there are businesses out there, and yours might be one, where it's a bit like Bankhouse in that, you know, a lot of the business comes from word of mouth, you know, and you're getting referrals from your existing clients or just friends, family, or whatever that might be. And that's amazing, right? And if you want to keep doing that, obviously keep doing that, and that's free. You're just providing really, really good customer service every day to ensure that you keep getting referred. But if you want to grow your business, if you want more sales, if you want more leads, you know, you're then going to have to pay someone to go out, and that's basically what you're doing. You know, you're kind of exchanging money to get your brand out there. It's the only way to do it. If it's not, you know, if you're not sitting there getting referrals through the door. And most times when we're talking to people, they're talking to us because they want more leads, you know, and it's just trying to get kind of a bit more of an understanding as to that marketing isn't like, you know, a band-aid. You don't stick it on and then just hope that it goes away. It's something that you need to understand what it is, and that it's ongoing, and it needs, you know, kind of nurtured, so that, but not to fear it either, because if you're doing marketing right, that spend, you're always getting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes even up to 10 times back the spend that you're putting in, you know.
Yeah, we had to look and be like, okay, we're going to take our 8% and put it back in recently. Or I was like, look, I want to simplify this whole process. I want another Sharon. I want another, you know, web developer. Let's look at that. And that's what we have been doing then over the past few months, since probably like November. You know, I'm building out the team because, you know, there's always like, I always look at our pipeline and I always look at the 50% deposit so does, and I'm like, how do we get that faster? We get that faster by having more people on the team, because they can then, you know, instead of like smaller amount, more amount. And that's what we've been doing. So it's about always meeting your business where it's at. Don't be overwhelmed or distracted by where other people are. Just don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, we've all done that. I do that. One of my clients the other day, I was with her and she looked at someone else's Instagram. She goes, oh my God. And I was like, stop, turn it off. Don't look at it. It's like they've got their own problems. Trust me. And then just was like, just meet your business where it's at. And you know, I have again made a few mistakes. I met the business where it was at in my mind, and it wasn't. And I got a bit over ambitious, and I hired someone that I shouldn't have hired, you know, so, and then I had to let them go.
He's talking about me.
No, I'm talking about like where this person right now in our business would be bloody amazing, you know, she'd be so good. But at the time, we just weren't there. I knew I needed to do that. But then whenever I met you was then whenever I learned all the foundation stuff that needed to be for the business. So, but yeah.
Yeah. And another thing is, like, you know, you say you start looking at marketing, you're like, right, I'm going to throw whatever into this, and you don't really understand those numbers then, and you don't track it. So that's so important. Whatever money you have, you know, on that you're putting into marketing, just make sure it's tracked, because you need to know if it's kind of working or not. But before you start doing any of those kind of marketing activities, you need to really be clear with yourself and dive into the business quite the way Matthew was talking there, and figure out what are your goals for your marketing activity. Because some people, for example, some businesses will just want more social media followers, because they know that when people land on their social media page, they engage with them and they generally get, you know, good custom out of that. Some businesses might want more leads, but mostly what people will say is, I want more sales, which is fine, right?
Yeah.
That can be the goal. But you need to have that, you know, those SMART goals. You need to have a SMART goal around it. And what that means is that, you know, that it's measurable. So, for example, I wrote down one earlier. So, SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And the reason for those 5 things is because then you can track and see if it was a success or not. So instead of saying I want more leads next year, you have to really be honest and see, is like, how many leads do you want, and is that amount of leads that you want actually achievable? So you're saying I want 200 more leads next year, but you only ever get 10 a year. So, the chances are that that's not going to be achievable in the first year. So you need to kind of look at all of your numbers and create kind of goals for your marketing campaign that make sense. So for example, I want to gain 20% more website leads in 2024, and I'm going to do that by allocating 20% more marketing spend to achieve that. That's realistic goal that you can then measure, as long as you're seeing keeping track of how much you spend and how much you're getting back on those activities. If you just say to your team or just yourself in your head, I want more leads in 2024, and sit there and just hope that they come, or you say I want 200 more leads to your team, and you're not giving them any idea on how you're planning on getting those, that's not going to work. So it is just about, first of all, coming up with like a realistic goal for your marketing spend, figuring out what your spend is based on that kind of 8% of your profits, and then selecting what channels that you want to start your marketing campaigns on, because the chances are you can't do it on all of them because you won't have that budget yet. And then from there, just tracking and measuring the results. You should kind of keep an eye on them. If it's like online stuff, you can keep an eye on them every day. If it's like posters, billboards, radio ads, that could take a wee bit longer. But generally speaking, within the first kind of 4 to 6 weeks, you should be able to see, is this working for me or is it not? And change and adapt it. And the thing is, you see, when you get to the other end of that and you've just started it and you see the leads coming in and you see the sales coming in, and then that budget spend is actually no longer a spend, it's made you money.
Yeah, it's an investment. And just before we sort of like wrap up on this topic, it can be extremely overwhelming. It can definitely be overwhelming. The only way to simplify it for you is the only thing that is between you and having a very successful marketing department, campaign and investment is educating yourself. You must educate yourself on all of these bits and pieces. There's videos on YouTube. You can ask questions, you can get a mentor, you can talk to an agency like ours, but you need to educate yourself on what it is. And by saying, oh, I don't know what that means, it's not good enough anymore. You have to become, it's a major part. It will make or break your business. And if you have a business, you must learn the terminology and understand what it is. Once you do that, you'll be so much more independently confident that you can actually do this. You'll be able, and once you have these skills, you can bring it to any business. I have multiple businesses, so whatever that may be, you can just put it in, whatever the structure is, you can put it into any other businesses. You will see other failing businesses and be able to advise them. But it's only if you take the time and educate yourself, because being a brilliant hairdresser, nail technician, HD brows, aesthetics, like anything, what it is, no matter what your trade is, a mechanic, owning a bar, you must understand and learn digital marketing and marketing strategy to grow and scale your business. And I'm sorry to say that, but if you're watching this podcast, you will understand that that's, we're all about that.
Yeah. And that's the thing, if, like we said earlier, just to touch on that again, because there are people who just are happy with the amount that's coming in, and, they're just getting word of mouth referrals. Perfect. Keep doing that. But we're talking about people who want more leads, want more sales. This is how you get them, by marketing to them. And I mean, I know it can be overwhelming, and as Matthew said, we always offer a free consultation, so you can chat to us at any point, just to get insights into our thoughts around your marketing budget. But it's as simple as, so you've built the shop, you've built your website online, and a lot of people think, well, now everyone knows it's there. No one knows it's there. just because you build
Sorry
a
to
shop
laugh.
or just
That
because
actually
you
found
build a
it
website.
patronising. I actually was one of those people at
but
the start where I was like, oh, why is this not working? Like, and then I realized whenever I'm selling a website now, I'm like, you understand, right? No one's going to come to this. Like, this is a tool. Like, you have to bring people to this.
And that's the thing, you know, and sorry, I didn't mean to be patronizing, but the truth is, just because you build it, it doesn't mean anyone's going to come. No one knows it's there unless you tell them. And that's what marketing is. It's you telling them that your business is there and that you can buy from them. And I know I'm slightly going off topic, but just another side note, because we talked about SEO being one of those things that you can do to get in top. You pay for, or you do your own monthly SEO optimization to try and get on the top of Google. People, whenever they're getting websites built, will think that they've got it all sorted because the website will say it comes with SEO optimization, and it will. So what that means is when it comes with SEO optimization, they're going to make sure that your images are all nice. They're going to make sure all the meta descriptions in the background, all that stuff in the background is nice and sitting how Google want it. But what it doesn't mean is that they're going to do that continually every month for the rest of that website's lifetime. And because they're not doing that, they're just doing the technical pieces to build your site, you're not going to reach the top of Google just with that SEO alone. It has to be monthly optimization, because that's another one that people always get caught out by. So I just wanted to say that as well.
It's like going into a doctor, right, and with a broken leg and saying, can you x-ray this, into a GP, and he said, no, you're in the wrong department. And that's what it's like in marketing. You could walk into a fully functional marketing office and you'll say, hey, why am I not at the top of SEO on Google? And they're like, what are you talking about? We look after your Facebook leads. It's a different department. Somebody else you could walk into and they'll say, I update your plugins. I back up your website. I don't do anything with that. But whenever you walk into that building, you think that every single person knows, or every single person you speak to on the phone is working on all of it, where it's not. It's like, okay, I need a scan. Okay, I need my ankle plastered. Okay, it's all different. Hospitals are spread out over acres and acres of land, you know, because to service each of the departments exactly the way they need to with speciality. And that's exactly the way it is in digital, you know, each digital component. And some people will try to do it all for your company. My experience with having an agency, they can't. Like, we have individual departments for individual services, and it's the only way that you can get the best results for a client. Whenever I did try to have like 2, 3 people, 4 people double jobbing, it was overwhelming. It was stressful. The clients were still getting results, but it nearly killed us on our side. You know, so it's really important that you're talking to the expert on that. If it's an SEO, then you're dealing with an SEO department. The guy who does the website build is not the SEO expert. It's a completely different niche. Do you think like McDonald's would have the person who does the web build working on their SEO?
Maybe.
You know.
Only joking.
They'd work together as a part of the team.
But just another note on that. So this was obviously specifically around creating a marketing budget and trying to help people understand the importance of having one and how to go about getting one if you've never had that before. The reason for the budget is so that you can do those marketing activities. Those marketing activities cost money because, like Matthew said, there's teams of specialized people that will complete that work for you. But it's also something that, as Matthew also said, you can educate and you can learn to do yourself. It's going to take
must.
Well,
you need to understand at least the lingo. If you want to have a really, really successful business, now you can choose to say, okay, I'm pushing that all over there. I don't want to know. Just tell me how much money we're making. But as a business owner, I truly believe you need to go one step further and ask questions. Why? Why are you doing that? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Where does that go from there? Where can we go from here? You know, ask questions, even if it is to your digital agency. Your digital agency will and educate you as they go. Like, Sharon breaks everything down. This is why we're doing this, because we never want something coming back on us. We're like, here's what we're doing. Here's what the outcome's going to be. And here's why we're doing this. Other agencies will just be like, give me your money.
Yeah.
Oh no, we didn't agree to that in the thing. And then they'll pull out their terms and conditions and stuff. Do you know? And it's education is the key extremely successful business.
And this is especially valid for businesses that are maybe starting up and don't have any marketing budget at all because they're brand new, and maybe have to do some of this work themselves. Well, then you educate yourself on how to do SEO optimization correctly. It's going to take you time. It's going to take a while for you to learn it, but do that then so that you can start getting SEO optimization into your business while you're trying to work on the other things. Unfortunately, it just means it's going to take up more of your time, but learn how to do SEO, learn how to do ad campaigns. You know, those are the two big ones. To kind of get you started. But yeah, sounds like a lot, but I think it's important just to remind people of why marketing budgets should be accounted for.
Yeah. And as soon as you start making good money, just allocate it into a budget and get somebody else to do it. It'll take the stress off you, and then you focus on putting on eyelashes or doing hair, because there's so much money in that. So much money in it. You know, so much money in it. Just disclaimer before we go, Taylor Swift and Beyonce aren't playing at this festival.
Oh, are they not?
No. It's a country festival, but Diplo is...
What will Beyonce?
There's loads of people. I sent it to my dad. I was like, I sent to mom. I was like, oh my God, your dad would love this. I'm like, yeah, because we were actually meant to be going to. It was all meant to be happening last weekend at Coachella, but they couldn't get here on time. The job only came in on Thursday, and they're like, it's too late. So we were set to go to Coachella on Thursday night for last weekend, but after me saying I really wanted to see No Doubt, I was like, that's funny. I was talking about wanting to see No Doubt, and then I'm going now. But I'll enjoy this weekend. It'll be good fun.
Well, here, just on that, because you brought Beyonce up, don't know, I'm not digging her Jolene.
She's just a bit passive aggressive. Let him have a girlfriend. Let him have a side piece. Do you know, is that not normal these days? Why is she coming down on her? You know, it's not her fault.
I'm going to listen to it a few more times, but at the minute,
why doesn't she sing it about
him?
him? He's coming out of it like, oh, he's amazing, but you know, you're the problem.
Yeah.
The other woman's the problem. Man. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, I think she's singing about the woman being the problem.
Well, I also get that she's trying to be like show strength.
I don't think that she is saying women stand together. I think she's like,
no, just I mean
man,
as in,
even if he cheats.
No, but I mean as in, you know the way Jolene was real like, oh please don't take him, like showing being weak, and she's like, bitch, don't take my man. You know, that kind of way.
She's a bit more
like
violent about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think where it's actually like, it's funny because the men then who have obviously engaged with Jolene as well, these two people, which is kind of weird. You know, Dolly Parton's husband and Beyonce's husband engaged with a woman called Jolene.
Dear help the Jolenes out there in the world.
If you don't want to be cheated on, then leave. You know?
No.
Okay, you've got children, but like, I mean, then if you've got children, then suck it up and then just focus on them and then just stop crying about them cheating then.
I think this is why we don't do relationship advice on podcasts.
I'd love to do just a normal podcast is talking about things. Because Beyonce...
gosh,
really
could you imagine? Disclaimer, Matthew and I are not relationship coaches, counsellors or anything, so...
Well, I think it's much more practical. If you love somebody and they've got somebody else and you're happy with that, then be with them. If you're not, then don't. I don't think you can change somebody. Ever. I don't think it's possible. So if she thinks by singing a song and putting a death threat out on Jolene, then it's going to stop her husband from cheating. I doubt it. He's just going to get smarter and try to hide it from her more.
I don't think that's why she's done it, did she? I just thought she was covering country songs, but turned them into her own thing.
Yeah, well, it sounded like a direct message because she did say that she brought his children up and I think she named them.
Oh, right, okay. Here, though, amazing if you could, like, you know, say you were such a good singer and had such an amazing production crew, and that's how you, like, got messages across to your other half, you know, by just writing, like, these heavily produced amazing songs.
Well, I think that is what it's all about. No, is that not how... Sure, Taylor Swift is like snogging her boyfriend every opportunity she can, right? And my friend was talking about the other day, and I said she's obviously really heartbroken over her last boyfriend. Who was he? Then fast forward a week, I read an article yesterday. Taylor Swift speaks about her heartbreak and being cheated on from her ex-boyfriend in her new 35 songs.
I know.
You know,
Apparently
Taylor
she's
Swift
dissing
does my
Kim as
head in as
well.
well.
We know that. You've said that
I
before.
respect her talent and the songwriting ability, but apart from that, I think she's a robot or something.
She could be. If I was, I
Yeah.
want it. If she's a robot, I want to be able to buy that robot and just make that much money off the other robot.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
But
That's for next week.
it's all marketing with Taylor Swift. Every single thing, none of it's true. It's all marketing, and it's all to make money, and she's doing a very good job at it.
I wonder what her marketing budget is.
Probably not that well. It would be big, but I mean, it wouldn't be big compared on the return on spend. Nobody would get a return on spend like her.
I know.
Like
I
she
can't
would
even
say, a
Google it.
marketing strategy would be like going to pay for a gig. If she paid for a gig to play and it was 10 million, she'd get 300 million back. Like her return would be just insane.
I know.
No matter
I know.
what she would do for, and she doesn't need to. It's all organic, you know, because she's got that. She's got raving fans. That's what you sort of everybody aims for. You've got diehard raving fans. Once you've got those, you don't need to spend money on marketing.
Well, they do because they'll have said we're doing X amount of events, hence why she's on the world tour. Merchandise, here's the markup on that, get you on this show, get you on that show, you know. Post a wee post there on social, Taylor.
Her return will be insane. But anyway, yes,
Yeah.
thank you so much for watching. And we will see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.